All right, fam, welcome into the crossover. That right there is NBA veteran Keyon Dooling. I'm your boy 10-Day Tony. Key, I feel like every time we get here and we do a new week of shows, we keep circling around the same person.
Who's that?
Ja Morant.
Ja Morant. Ja Morant.
Did you see when it happened? Did you see the scuffle between Ja Morant and Klay? Did you see it post? Like, what was your interaction with it?
Yeah, I mean, I think the apex for the reaction for me was like Klay's response,
which we'll play in a second. We have that ready. We'll play that in a second.
He read them from A to Z. It was witty. It was funny. It was scathing. It was timely.
It was true.
It was
more than
it was a
anything,
hard truth.
It was true.
It was hard to hear.
Let's pull up real quick. Actually, go before and let's pull up what actually happened. So just to paint a picture for you, if you don't know what we're talking about, Mavericks were close with the Memphis Grizzlies. Last second shot. Actually, Klay had a decent game. He had hit a couple threes in the game, like 3 or 4 threes. He had actually missed a game-tying or game-leading three, and then Ja and him got into a kind of a bit of a altercation after the game where Ja was pointing his finger in Klay's face. And then with Ja, I don't know about you, but I don't like people pointing fingers in my face like that.
That's definitely fight worthy.
Yeah. So let's see. This was after the game. Let's play that. There we go. Klay was not happy. And like you see Ja in street clothes pointing the finger. Klay obviously missed the slap, but like as a guy who played in the league, KD, when you got somebody in street clothes in the Nike Tech, why are you coming out to say anything to me when I played and I balled and you're on the side of the court?
Yeah. I mean, it's a part of the game. You know, shit talk, trash talk has always been a part of the game. I think, the timing right now is bad for Ja just because, like, he's been a PR nightmare. He hasn't played well on the court. He's been clashing with his coaches. He's been clashing with the fans. He looks disgruntled. So everything that he does right now is going to be under a microscope. And, man, I mean, he's doubling down on his lack of maturity. I don't want to see the bullshit. Yeah. I want to see you hoop, kind of like what Klay said.
And the tough part is, like, if you're in the game, I get it. We could talk shit if you're in the game. But you're coming off the bench to say something to me when you've been a fool this whole year, when you haven't played well, when you have played, you haven't played well.
Yeah.
Like, you're on the bench now with a calf strain. Your team's trying to get out of your contract because they're looking at the next 3 or 4 years of your deal, saying, like, there's no way we can pay a guy that does this amount of money. Nobody wants to trade for you. So, like, all these things are starting to snowball, and then you come and point at me when I'm a guy who's won 4 championships, who's a Hall of Famer, one of the best shooters ever, a great two-way player. Like, I've got the accolades you want, but you're gonna come in and say something to me like this. It wasn't a press conference, but this was just him around the locker room after some reporters were asking him about what Josh said and his reaction to that. So let's run that.
He's a funny guy. He has a lot to say all the time, especially for a guy who rarely takes accountability. But you know what? That's for another day.
What did Ja have to say on this occasion?
Nothing of intelligent depth. It was really just his just running his mouth, and he's been running his mouth for a long time, and it's funny to run your mouth when you're on the bench. It's kind of the story of his career so far, just leaving us wanting more. We all want to see him out there and do his best, but he's just been letting a lot of other stuff get in the way of that. And we need that in the NBA. We need our best players to be out there, and when you're a star, it comes with a great responsibility, and I hate to see that go to waste. And then with Ja,
to make matters worse, he's not only telling him, like, yo, you're a great player, but also you've squandered the opportunity that you have. And, like, we need you to be great. Admitting that you're great when you play. And you've been subpar. You've been absolutely not what we thought you were going to be.
The way that he broke it down, I mean, he really challenged Ja in a lot of ways. He challenged him to be, more responsible as a franchise player. He challenged him to be more available on the court. He challenged him, with his disposition and his demeanor, that he's always talking and never taking accountability. And when it's coming from a guy who's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, who's a 4-time champion, and who's revered around the league, yeah, it's not a good look, man. That's the OG Klay had to put down on him a little bit.
Be like, hey, come on,
tighten up.
Where you
want
to go, I've been there 4 times.
Yeah, tighten up.
I've been everything that you've wanted to be. I've actually done it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's different from talking to somebody who's in your age group, is in your peer group, is like, yo, come on, you got to tighten up. Or an OG on your team who's maybe bounced around a couple of teams, who hasn't been that level of successful. But you're talking about a guy who is that successful, who's been to the mountaintop 4 times, who's been around Draymond Green, who's been around the best shooter of all time in Steph Curry, who's been around great coaches.
Yeah, man.
What else is going to wake Ja up?
Well, I mean, this is where the lack of veteran leadership plays into the locker rooms, right? Because vets, they hold court in the locker room, and they make sure that there's structure and there's order there. And because the game has gone a lot younger, at the end of the bench, you don't see those OG vets who mean so much to teams anymore. And I think Ja is really being hurt by that.
What's the future?
I mean, the future
for Ja,
it's really up to him. Obviously, man, Ja Morant is one of the best basketball players on the planet. The way that he plays,
you think?
Yes, man. Yes. I mean, you just don't lose that like that. Of course, like, he's going through a little rough spell, but like, it's still Ja Morant. He's still young and athletic and vibrant. It's a lot of the other stuff that's turning us off that he's doing that make us a little bit more judgmental of him. But he has an opportunity to turn it around. It doesn't take much. He's just got to he's got to man up. He's got to mature, and he's got to, just take some accountability and become a better leader and a better professional.
It's just tough when you continue to get chance after chance after chance, learning chances, that is, not second chances, right? You had the gun incident where you pulled out the gun on IG Live. You figure, hey, you know what? I'm a multi-billion-dollar economy when it comes to Nike, when it comes to my franchise, when it comes to my social media, right? Like, this is not millionaire stuff. This is billionaire stuff that we're talking about, right? You can't do something like that and then not learn from it.
I agree.
And then do the next thing and then not learn from it. And then now do the third and fourth and fifth thing and not learn from it. So it's at a certain point, the rubber's got to meet the road, where it's like, Ja, you're either going to flame out and be a has-been and be a guy who had that potential and didn't use it, like Klay's talking about right now, or you're a guy that can turn it around, buckle down, understand, all right, I got to change the way I'm living. I got to change the way who I'm hanging out with. I got to change who's around my circle, who's managing me, who's giving me advice, right? Because for right now, it hasn't worked.
Yeah.
Like, something's got to change.
Yeah.
And it just feels like we're at a part in the road where we're really going to split. Because
agree.
he's 26 years old.
Yeah, I agree, my friend.
And in a couple of years, it's like,
I totally agree with
damn,
you.
Josh 30, and he's like, I don't know.
I totally agree with you. I won't make any excuses for him. But I do want to challenge him.
Yeah.
Challenge him to get better, on and off the court. Yeah. And I think he's capable of it.
It's and day by day, there's a smaller percentage chance of that second chance from a franchise perspective going out and rescuing him or getting him out of Memphis. It's like, how many teams are going to look around and be like, we got enough issues as is. Why are we going to add yet another issue into our locker room? Yet another guy who can be impressionable against our young guys. Like, that's all stuff that the front office starts thinking about.
Yep, I totally agree with you, man. Tighten up, shawty.
Come on, baby. Let's
Tighten
go.
up.
All right, so this is our Thanksgiving week episode.
Yes, sir.
Thursday, we usually have our show.
I'm going to eat good,
We're going to eat good. We're going to watch some football, be with the family, eat some food. So today's going to be kind of like our Thanksgiving episode.
Okay.
So what I want to do is give it a little flip, and instead of what we're thankful for, even though we could talk about that too in a little bit if you want, I want to go to players from NBA history that we should have been more thankful for.
Okay.
Throughout the seasons in the NBA.
I like that.
Do you want to start? Or do you want me to start?
Go ahead. You start off. I'll pick it back.
I'm going to start off with a guy who you know very well, who you played with, who is an instant Hall of Famer, who is one of the best 75 players in league history. So when I give that resume, you're going to be like, how are you not more thankful for that guy? But I think in his era, and what we know now about basketball and how he would have fit into this era, we didn't give him as much love to KG Big Ticket as we should have when he was playing.
Yeah, Ticket. Yeah, man. I mean, Ticket was one of those guys, man, you either love him or hate him. If you play with him, I'm telling you, he will be your favorite teammate in the history of all teammates. But if you play against him, you hate him. But Ticket, man, is not only one of my favorite teammates, if not my favorite teammate that I played with. He was an ultimate competitor. He respected the game, the history of the game. he empowered, he encouraged, he challenged. Big Ticket really had a profound impact on basketball. Yeah, man, he's the man.
From the defensive side of the ball, not even talking about his offense, that he was a All-NBA offensive scorer from his position, but what he did defensively to anchor some of those Boston Celtics teams, those Minnesota teams early on in his career, it's like if you would take Ticket from there in the 90s and 2000s and add him into the NBA right now, he'd be one of the best defenders in the NBA.
Facts.
He would give people hell on the block.
Facts.
He would be able to shoot the three because he would have developed that part of his game.
Facts.
He would have been, dare I say, a better version of what we see as like a Bam Adebayo type, right? That center who's the defensive anchor, who's all world defensively. He was already better than Bam as an offensive threat. But like, imagine how much better his game would have been in this era.
Yeah, man,
it's
and
crazy.
The freedom that they have right now, and his agility, his ability to shoot, dribble, pass, think the game, have a motor, and play with more aggression than most people was unbelievable. Look, there's a highlight tape from when they were on like Team USA and they were playing like full court ones, and you saw KG like dominating all those Hall of Fame players. And so, yeah, man, big love, big shout out to KG, man. We appreciate you, champ.
And a guy who did it coming out of high school. Right, like he was one of the original guys of like, yo, I'm going out of high school. I'm going to be a grown man in a grown man sport.
Yeah.
And like that also, I don't think people are thankful enough, as we've seen the guys that have grown up from the high school generation with high school into the pros. And a lot of those guys fell. A lot of those guys couldn't live up to the business aspect of what the NBA was. And KG came in and was like, yeah, like I'm here.
Yeah, man.
Like put it on my back. I'm good.
He owned it.
It's
That's
crazy.
Facts.
Big shout out to the boy KG.
Yes, sir.
How about you? What do you think?
Oh man, I mean, you know, it's a guy, man, who I feel like his DNA like is really resonating with the game right now. I think more people play with his rhythm and his movements than like how Michael Jordan and Kobe played off the pivot. And that guy is Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson to me was a transformational player.
Changed the culture.
He changed the culture of the game. He changed the rhythm of the game. He invented moves, maybe not invented them, but mastered moves and brought the crossover to the game, the hezzy pull up to the game. And so there's so many players when you see the hybrid and kind of how the position of the point guard is kind of like that hybrid shooting
combo,
scoring.
yeah.
It's like a combo guard now. Allen Iverson was at the forefront of that.
Man, Allen Iverson had little white kids in the stands with cornrows on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, straight like that. And to see what he's doing now after kind of, retiring and going through the routine of change and how he's been able to recover and rebound and rebrand himself and market himself. He's written a book. He's doing a lot of great things right now. He's doing stuff with Reebok again, trying to revitalize that brand. And he just looks good, man. I'm just happy to see Al doing great. And he had a tremendous impact on all of us.
It's crazy because right around that time where he was really getting big, like the NBA was going through such a big change of like, all right, you come in wearing a suit to the game and you're just kind of like part of this cookie cutter culture. And then I was like, nah, I'm going to wear the velour sweatsuit with the question on it. Like he really changed the game from a swag perspective.
He did.
In the NBA, where now obviously you see these guys arriving to the stadium and everybody's decked out. Everybody's got their best fit on, trying to be the star outside of the court. And it really felt like AI was one of those guys from your generation, right? Can we call him in your generation?
Yeah,
I mean, a little bit before.
A little bit before me, but nevertheless, I got a chance to play against prime AI, and it was not fun. It was not fun chasing AI off those loop screens. It was not fun. With him coming down the court with a head of steam. You don't know if he's going to cross over. You don't know if he's going to hezzo. You don't know if he's going to hezzo pull. I mean, AI was tough. You made sure that you went to sleep good and early.
Studied a little extra that night.
Good and early the night before. That's for sure.
Do you have a story of AI where first time you got in the court with him and you were like, oh, shit, that's AI. Like, I got to be ready tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the first time I played AI. I was just trying not to go for the crossover. And the thing about it is, like, he sets you up. So he was just like hezzoing and going. And so it was so hard to like just catch his rhythm. Like you couldn't really cut him off. You couldn't touch him. He was super fast. He was wiry. He was shifty. He had a handle. He was aggressive. So I just remember, how fast AI was, like just trying to keep speed with him.
It's almost like a boxer, right? Like he sets you up for moves 5 rounds later
Yeah.
where he knows, all right, if I hezzy and go, next time I can hezzy crossover. Next time I can hezzy crossover behind the back.
Yeah.
And I can set him up
Yeah.
in the third quarter to look dummy when I hit him with one of these between the legs and keep going.
AI was the man.
All right, let's think of another guy who's we should have been more thankful for. I don't know if you had any sort of interaction with this guy. I'm sure at some point you did. Amar'e Stoudemire. Stat was a dog.
Yeah, he was. Florida boy.
Another guy.
Florida boy.
Who was like, yeah, college, I don't need that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm that grown man enough where I can just pull up and play in the NBA.
Man, I remember he caught a body. Michael Olawokandi, he was a rookie.
Wow.
And like Stephon Marbury hit him on a pocket pass, and he just put his whole arm in the rim, everything in the rim, and just oh my goodness.
Stat was tough. And then like
he was tough.
When Steve Nash came into the picture,
man, they changed
from
the
Dallas
game.
to Phoenix.
They changed the game.
That offense, you talk about them two, Sean Marion, who's another guy we should probably talk about in the should be thankful for category.
Absolutely.
QR, Joe Johnson. Like that team was tough.
It was tough.
Those are the Amin Al Hassan Suns teams. He was in the front office for some of those. And it's like Stat, obviously when he went to New York was bodying people too, but
he was a man child.
That young Stat was I don't think anybody had ever seen a power forward be that agile.
Yeah. And he was strong. He could run. He could jump. He enjoyed playing the game. He was cerebral. He was very smart as a player. He used to, Stat had a great career. Obviously, he was young and athletic early in his career, but he really developed his post game and became like a scorer. He always had a nice touch from the outside. Stat is another guy who I think is underappreciated.
Developed his footwork like crazy. Yeah. Was able to score in ways that, like, once the athleticism started going a little bit further, and even though, again, he was athletic to the time he left the league.
Facts.
But he was able to score in ways that were that he wasn't able to when he was early on in the NBA. He developed his game really nicely for the size that he had and the agility that he had. Who you like in this? Who should we be more thankful for too?
You know what? I'm gonna go. I was thinking Baron Davis, Steve Francis, Gilbert Arenas, those guys, because I think the hybrid guard is really
let's talk about it
in the NBA. But I'm gonna go with a traditional point guard right here.
Okay,
I'm gonna go with Andre Miller, the back down king, the
man.
lower body assassin. Andre Miller, I had an opportunity to play with him season with the Clippers, and just so smart, so competitive, so tough. Had a great feel for the game. Was tough on both ends of the floor. Was a mid-range killer.
Yeah,
could back you down in the post. Had great hands, so he was really good at getting steals. Had vision where he could throw a full-court alley-oop. And Andre Miller is one of those guys who I just thought were underrated. He was shit, man. He didn't miss many games.
Yeah,
like he was like an Iron Man for sure. He didn't miss a lot of games. He played for a long time. He was durable. Andre Miller is a guy, man, who I feel like is very, very underrated.
Yeah.
Very underrated.
Prototype, like the prototypical point guard.
For sure.
The guy who could, things are getting a little bit off the rails. All right, everybody slow down. I got you. Let me pull it back out. Let's run our sets. Let's take the temperature down a little bit. A guy who could command the offense in a way that very few could.
Super smart.
Little floaters in the lane too were tough. Like Andre was tough, bro. Andre played a ton of teams too.
Yeah, he did.
Played a long time. Look up how many seasons Andre Miller played in the NBA. Would you over under 11 and a half?
Oh, he played more than 11 and a half.
Under 13 and a half.
He played over 13.
Are we talking about a 16, 17-year vet Andre Miller?
15, 16, I think.
And to stay in the NBA for that long, like talk about that, because obviously a lot of guys, I don't know what the average age as far as the duration for NBA lifespan is. Figure it's what, 6 years?
No, the average
5 years.
Average career I think is about a little under 4 years.
Okay, so you're talking about a guy who did 3 times, 4 times that.
Yeah.
Like what's the key for longevity in the NBA?
You know what? Health. Health is wealth in athletics. Being healthy, being a good teammate, being a good locker room person definitely helps. You preserve your career a little bit, and then you got to be lucky. You got to be lucky. You got to be talented. You got to be, you just got to be. You got to get lucky.
Just double checked here, and Andre Miller played 17 seasons in the NBA.
Damn.
Put in work at the point guard position.
Years. What was his? How old was he? Was his last year?
Give me 2 seconds.
We're checking. We got the crack staff on the check of how
Yeah.
old Andre Miller was.
Yeah,
He was
Dre
was he
was
40?
tough.
Was he 40 yet?
I'm not sure if he was 40 or not, but he was damn near.
I was gonna say
He was damn near.
Andre Miller was tough. Another guy that I can think of off the top of my head that a lot of people didn't like, right? Kind of along the lines of a big ticket. Wallace.
We
should have been thankful for. We should have been more thankful for Rasheed Wallace.
Man, you know what? The hood, we love Sheed.
No, I know.
We
I'm
love
talking about the majority of people, of NBA fans.
Yeah.
Should have showed more love to Sheed instead of seeing him as a villain. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I mean, but at the end of the day, I think, man, Sheed was ahead of his time. A 7-footer who shot it, with range.
One of the
could post
original
you up.
stretch fours.
One of the original stretch fours. Could still get to the cup, could jump out of the gym, was great defensively. As good as he was in Portland, man, like when he got to Detroit, they were just, him and Big Ben Wallace was so difficult to play against.
What a front line they had, the Wallace brothers.
But Rasheed Wallace is definitely one of my favorite power forwards of all time.
It's just his ability to stretch the court and his ability to get into other people's heads and change the way that they played.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's very few guys that can go in and start barking early and get you off your game.
Yeah.
KG,
Yeah.
big time.
Uh-huh.
Didn't he say that Melo's wife smelled like...
I can neither confirm nor deny what he said.
All I'm saying is what I heard from $1 Million Worth of Game is what I heard Wallow said, or maybe it was a Gilly, I don't remember. Somebody said that KG said that Melo's wife smelled like Honey Nut Cheerios. I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah.
I'm not, again, like you, I can neither confirm nor deny. All I can say is that I had heard that from somewhere.
You had heard that he said this. But
again, we can't confirm nor deny.
Yeah.
But we know that things were said.
Things were said.
And Sheed is another guy who probably said things
Yeah,
that got people a little off their game.
You know what? Rasheed didn't really talk a lot of trash to you as a player. It was mostly to fans and referees.
Ref for sure.
And it would be a lot of general stuff like the ball don't lie. Like different things like that. He had a lot of different sayings, but he wasn't really a trash talker, like unless you get to talking to him.
Right. So he's a if you strike first blood, I'm gonna finish it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Who's another guy you should be NBA fans should be thankful for?
Shit, man. I'll go with one of my old teammates, man. Hedo Turkoglu. Let's talk about Turk, man. 6'10", point power, point forward. You
Power
can call
guard.
him. Yeah, I mean Turk was fun to play with, man. He was super skilled. Stan Van Gundy really changed his career. Stan challenged him to be better, and Turk pushed back initially. But, man, once he bought in, man, he took our team.
What did that pushback look like? What did Stan want to do?
Stan wanted more for him, more from him. He wanted him. He was like, you are too good of a player to be averaging 11, 12 points playing this amount of time. Like, I'm going to challenge you this year. I'm going to push you, and you're going to make the plays, and you're going to, and he bought into it. And Turk started to believe what Stan, saw in him was true.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Turk, not only was Turk great to play with on the court because he was fun, he was tall, he could pass, he could shoot, he was athletic.
Great creator, yeah.
But he was such a good locker room guy, man. He was so fun to be around. He was, he was like just a breath of fresh air in the locker room every day. So Hedo Turkoglu, man. Cheers to you, champ.
I loved watching Hedo play, right? And he was with the Magic for a lot of times where I was growing up in high school basketball and like trying to really figure out how I could mirror my game at that level to be like, all right, I'm a bigger guy. They allow me to kind of initiate the offense a lot of the time. Like, what can I do? Who can I study that I can see a little bit of what I can do in their body type and the way that they move and stuff. And I remember watching Hedo 6'10", being able to basically play point guard, take the ball up 94 feet, initiate the offense, create when he wanted to, get a shot when he wanted to, spot up three when he wanted to, be able to play, free throw line, play baseline, play whatever he wanted. His offensive bag was so deep, even though it wasn't like a handles thing of like, oh, watch me do what I can do here with this and one move. It was like right place, right time, right cut, right pass, like all of those things matched. And I loved watching Hedo play.
Turk was ahead of his time.
Were you how old are you guys? Like, what's the difference in age?
We got drafted the same year. I'm not sure how old Turk is.
So you guys got drafted 2000.
Yeah.
Okay. When you got to Orlando with him, had he kind of developed a lot of those skills, or was it when he really hit Orlando's when he started flourishing in those abilities to take the ball up? And
no, he had
create?
those abilities in Sacramento. It was just the way that Sacramento kind of played. It was a lot of passing. They kind of play like how the Heat playing right now. But he was good the first 2 years in Orlando, but it was when Stan Van Gundy became the head coach. He did not accept mediocrity from Turk. He was like, you are going to have to perform. You're going to have to play. We're going to expect more out of you, and he's going to hold you accountable to that. And Stan did that every day, and Turk's game went like this.
That was it 08-09 or 09-10 Magic team that went to the finals was tough.
Yeah, they were good.
That was a tough team.
Yeah.
Turk, Dwight Howard,
Rashard
Jameer
Lewis.
Nelson, Rashard Lewis, Corey. Was Corey Brewer there? Was he the two on that team?
No, Corey wasn't there. I think Courtney Lee.
Courtney Lee
was on
the
that
two,
team.
yeah.
Rayford Alston.
Skip.
Yeah, they had a
tough little team.
Yeah,
I like that team.
It was nice.
Speaking of old Kings, one guy that again I loved watching, even though they were on the West Coast, even though I didn't have the opportunity to watch a ton of their games because back in the day we didn't have League Pass, right? Like it was just like the one TNT game that they may have gotten at some point. But watching Peja Stojakovic,
Peja,
another guy, 6'9", 6'10", dead-eye three.
Snap it. I mean, he could snap the basketball.
At one point, he was like the best shooter on the planet.
Yeah,
like
man.
there was nobody like Peja Stojakovic.
Peja was nice. He, had that step back. He had that crossover to the step back. A lot of people don't realize his size, man.
Yeah,
He's like 6'9", 6'10".
He's big.
And
big
he could
boy.
handle the ball. He could shoot the ball. He was smart. He could play with the ball in his hand.
That
he could
Kings
play
team was
off
tough.
the ball. Him and Doug Christie would be coming flying off of those screens and in the wheel action. So they were a little bit ahead of their time with the way that they played together.
I'm gonna look them up. What was that? Let's say 2004 Kings. Let's take a look here. Rick Adelman, the coach.
Yeah, they was tough. Kings was tough.
Bibby,
Mm-hmm.
Christie, Vlade Divac, Bobby Jackson, who was tough too. He was older though. At that, he was probably in his late 30s at that point.
C. Webb was over there.
Yep. C. Webb, Joe Wallace, Peja. Yeah, that was
nice.
a nice team. Peja, 6'10", 230.
Yeah.
That boy's coming off screens like hell.
Nice.
And he would shoot from up here. And that's the thing. People couldn't block his shot. Not only are you 6'10", you're shooting the ball from up here in a spot where nobody can touch it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Peja was nice, man. Peja did it. He put in work.
Couple more back and forth. Who you got?
Oh, man. Let's see, said the blind man. A guy who I always think about, man, what he could have been. Brandon Roy.
Yeah.
Brandon Roy, man. Hell, man, there was a time where he was one of the, behind Kobe and D Wade. Like Brandon Roy was, in that conversation of being like one of the best shooting guards in the league. Could play the one, could play the two, had a big body. He was strong, good mid-range shot.
Could get to the bucket.
Shoot the three, could post you up. He had a really good left hand, so he could get you on the block, and it was almost like, he could jump hook with the left hand as a guard in the post. Had an incredible pace, was a freak of nature athletically. He didn't have any holes in his game. He was competitive defensively. He was one of the best players, man, in those early 2000s. Unfortunately, injuries kind of took him out. That knee took him out. But Brandon Roy was a beast.
When you talk about those combo guards, we could probably have that conversation now. BD, guys like Gil.
Yeah.
Guys like, who else did you mention? Brandon Roy.
Steve Francis.
Steve Francis, right? That combo guard position, even though, throughout time, it's like you got to have your point who sets up the offense. You have to have your shooter. And then that, at some point, it feels
shifted.
like in the late 90s, early 2000s, there was like a blurred line of like that position. And those two positions, point guard and shooting guard, they were kind of interchangeable. How do you feel about that?
I feel like that game, I feel like those hybrid point guard players, those guys who are combos, were undervalued for so long. And I think right now in the league, that's really what you want. Like most league guards are mostly combination guards. There's not really traditional point guards anymore. It's so much responsibility on the point guards, not only to make plays, but to get downhill, break the paint, and score. The position has really evolved, and I think those combo guards have allowed that to happen.
Guys like BD who are like, you see him, and I've seen BD in person, like he's not a huge guy. Talk about what, 6'1"?
Yeah.
If that.
6'1", 6'2".
Like if that though, like you're not talking about a massive guy. And what he was able to do from an athletic perspective.
Yeah,
when he
BD
yammed on Karolinko,
BD was a freak, bro.
when he hit him with the body extended,
Yeah, Baron Davis was a problem. I mean, he could bounce the ball. He had probably a 44-inch vert, had long arms. He had a big lower body, so he could post you up. He could shoot. He could rebound. He could pass. He could do everything on the court. He loved to play. He enjoyed hooping. He's another guy who played a long time but had knee injuries, but was still real athletic, real savvy. Hell of a player.
I'm going to give you one more, and then we're going to wrap it up for the Thanksgiving episode.
Okay.
Who we're thankful for. Boris Diaw.
Boris.
That's one of the names we hadn't mentioned. Boris was tough.
Boris was nice.
How are you looking the way that he looked, respectfully? Obviously, he wasn't super leaned out. He wasn't a guy that you look at him and you're like, that guy's an NBA player. But with his size and his ability, his vision, his handles, his intellect about basketball, like that plays in every generation.
Yeah.
Like Boris could play now.
Yeah, Boris was one of those guys, man, who had to find his rhythm. I don't think they appreciated him a lot of times in Atlanta. He was a young player. He was new to the NBA game. He really wasn't confident in his shooting ability at that point, but you could just kind of see that he had a good ground game. They even tried him at point guard sometimes, but it's when he got to Phoenix, something snapped for him, something clicked for him. I think D'Antoni's system fit him perfectly. I think the personnel around him, they were playing at more of a pace than everyone.
Yeah, they were pushing
during that time, and it changed his whole career.
Him getting out in transition was it was weird to see this guy leading the break, and you're like, damn, who is this guy? He's kind of like, awkward.
Yeah.
The way that he would move and things that he would do, but those Suns teams were tough.
Yeah, they were tough.
Leandro Barbosa too running around at some point.
The Brazilian bluer.
Come on.
The bad man.
We love hoops.
We love it.
Hoops is fun.
It is, man.
Talking old school hoops like that early 2000s hoops.
It is. There's a lot of talented players. I'm sure I missed some guys who I'll think of later, but it was some hoopers. It was some good basketball.
There's some
being
hoopers,
played.
baby. All right, so no show on Thursday.
Yeah, man. Thanksgiving, dope.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, man. I'm thankful for you, brother.
Yes, sir.
You already know,
Yes,
man. Enjoy
sir.
your family, champ.
Yeah,
Let's go.
likewise. You guys rate, subscribe, review to the pod. YouTube, we're on IG. Hit us up. We're always answering comments and talking our shit. So have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
We'll see you guys Monday, and we'll bring up a guest next week too.
Yeah,
so we
we
can chop
got
it up with a guest.
we got it.
All right, peace, guys.
All right, fellas. Peace.